A headframe is the structural frame above an underground mine shaft. Design. Modern headframes are built out of steel, concrete, or a combination of both. Timber headframes are no longer used in industrialized countries, but are still used in developing nations. Conventionally, steel headframes are used when a drum hoist is employed, and concrete headframes are built for friction hoists. However, a steel headframe can be used with a friction hoist for shafts with a smaller capacity and depth. Steel headframes. A steel headframe is less expensive than a concrete headframe, providing the height does not exceed 50 meters. Steel headframes are more adaptable to modifications, and are considerably lighter, requiring less substantial foundations. As steel headframes are easier to design, they have the potential to utilize off-the-shelf design tools. Construction of a steel headframe can be easily interrupted and restarted if necessary for statutory holidays or bad weather, where slip-forming concrete is not. Upon mine closure and mine reclamation, a steel headframe is easier to demolish and may have value as scrap metal. A recently erected steel headgear in the Zambian copper belt town of Chililabomwe at the Konkola No. 4 shaft has a total height of 81 meters to the top of the maintenance crane rail, with the center line of the head sheaves at 71 meters above the collar, making it the highest steel headgear in Africa. Concrete headframes. Concrete headframes require less maintenance and are less susceptible to corrosion than steel headframes. There is much less waste of concrete during construction of a concrete headframe than there is of steel in construction of a steel headframe. Concrete headframes provide an enclosure upon construction, whereas steel headframes require cladding and insulation to protect from weather. Concrete headframes are less susceptible to vibrations and sway less during high winds. Concrete is usually more readily available than steel, and the price is predictable, whereas fabricated steel prices can be volatile. Symbolism. Headframes have become prominent features in historic mining regions. The Ruhr district of Germany and the South Wales valleys in Britain are both examples of areas which are now associated with headframes due to the large number constructed to mine coal during the Industrial Revolution. Most of these headframes have now been removed, although both regions have turned non-operating mines with headframes into national museums. The German Mining Museum in Bochum and Big Pit National Coal Museum in Blanavon. Sporting teams from former coal mining regions such as Clanharan RFC and Kilvarnet RFC have headframes included in the club badges. In the United States, over a dozen headframes can still be seen around the town of Butte, Montana. Some of those headframes are illuminated at night with red LED lighting to commemorate Butte's copper mining heritage, and the headframe is easily the town's most iconic image. In Yellowknife, Canada, the demolition of the Con Mine headframe has met significant public opposition. The headframe is the tallest structure in the Northwest Territories and is regarded by many in the town to be an important symbol of the region's mining heritage.